Welcome to From the Pages, the series where the ink of wrestling history is brought to life, unfiltered, unaltered, and unrelenting. Today we rip the spine wide open on the December 1986 issue of Wrestling World magazine, a time capsule of body slams, bravado, and burning questions as the industry barreled toward the close of one of its wildest years. This is the era of neon tights and bloodied brows, of regional kings and national icons, of arenas packed with believers and magazines like this one serving as their sacred scrolls. The issue opens with a bold feature titled Rating the Wrestlers, compiled by the Mattingly Sports Bureau, laying down the law with a top 50 list that names names, ranks greatness, and draws battle lines between promotions. You will find the giants of the squared circle, Hulk Hogan at the top with his World Wrestling Federation title reign, Ric Flair chasing him with NWA swagger and gold, and Nick Bockwinkel reminding everyone that class and cunning still define a true champion. The Road Warriors muscle their way onto the list, as do Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, and Kerry Von Erich, each with their own warpath and following. This list is more than rankings, it is a declaration of who mattered in the smoke and spotlight of professional wrestling. Next comes Matt Mail, where readers from across the country sound off with venom and victory. These are not polite postcards. They are emotional manifestos from fans who defend Jake Roberts' cruelty, attack Jimmy Valiant's antics, demand more coverage for Ric Flair, and offer unsolicited praise to the likes of Kamala and Miss Elizabeth. The letters are passionate, personal, and often unpredictable, a reminder that wrestling was and is a dialogue between performer and believer. Then we dive into Stately States, a new recurring column by Stately Wayne Manor, and it pulls no punches. He torches promoters who cheapen titles with non-title matches, questions booking logic, mocks cartoon gimmicks, and challenges readers to think critically about their heroes. His voice drips with old-school authority and frustration, but it never feels out of touch. Only outrage that the sport he loves is being sold for the price of a joke. Then beginning on page 24, Jack O'Shea takes us inside the wild and weird world of Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine in One More Time, where luscious Johnny Valiant's dream team is still clawing to reclaim the World Wrestling Federation tag titles. Beefcake's flair and Valentine's grinded-out grit make them an unlikely but dangerous pair, and their story is far from over. Page 30 introduces Wrestling's 20 Questions, written by Lonnie Mars, where the magazine dares to answer the most burning inquiries fans have dared to ask. From kayfabe inconsistencies to behind-the-scenes scuttlebutt, this piece plays it straight, giving answers with clarity and candor, proving that Wrestling World magazine was not afraid to peel back the curtain when the moment called for it. Then we turn the page and feel the ground rumble under the feet of the bull Ed Gantner, the former football tackle turned wrestling powerhouse. This Missouri-born monster has joined Sir Oliver Humperdinck's stable, and his transition from the gridiron to the turnbuckle is chronicled with pure grit and admiration. The article showcases his raw strength, no-nonsense attitude, and dangerous alignment with the manager's Shock Troops faction. From there, we slither into the Snake Sneaks in a brilliant piece on Jake Roberts by Alan Bolt. Roberts is dissected not just as a heel, but as a psychological artist. The article praises his quiet menace, his cerebral promos, and of course his sinister companion, Damien. Every match, every promo, every cold stare. Jake is a serpent in human form, and the fans know it. Some boo, some cheer, but none forget. We then rise into the Lone Star skies with Wrestling's Whiz Kid, an article about Barry Windham, son of Blackjack Mulligan and brother of Kendall. He is profiled as the pride of the family and a rising force in his own right, a tall, technical Texan with a good head, better instincts, and the future at his feet. From his early days in Florida to his national stardom, Windham's rise is a masterclass in doing the work, honoring the name and outshining the expectations that come with it. Then on page 48, Twig Martin asks the biggest question of the year. How long can Hulk Hogan hang on? The Hulkster is on top, but this article warns that no man stays there forever. It references former champions like Stan Hansen and Ric Flair and dares to suggest that Hogan's run, for all its glory, is not bulletproof. The article praises his charisma, his work ethic, his unmatched crowd control, but it also raises eyebrows at the wear and tear, the challengers waiting in the wings, and the shifting winds of the industry. It is a warning masked as a tribute. Then finally we reach the Wrestling World interview with the legendary Tony Lanza, an elder statesman of the sport who wears many hats: wrestler, teacher, sculptor, photographer, and at 66 years old, still loves and breathes the game. His reflections are wise, nostalgic, and quietly powerful. His stories stretch across decades, and through them we feel the weight of wrestling's long, hard road. The issue closes with regional reports covering local scenes in full color and full pride. Every promotion, every territory, every indie circuit gets its moment. From East Coast brawlers to Southern mat masters, this section is proof that even in the age of televised titans, the heartbeat of wrestling still lived in high school gyms, armories, and bingo halls packed with true believers. There are ads scattered throughout for posters, photo collections, muscle-building routines, and bizarre novelties that promise everything from power to enlightenment. And above it all, the glossy pin-up centerfolds remind you that stars were not just athletes, but icons frozen in time, cloaked in stardom, etched in sweat and spotlight. And there you have it, the December issue of Wrestling World Magazine, 1986. Not a puff piece, not a recap. A living, breathing witness to the most brutal, brilliant, and bizarre business in the world. This magazine was not written. It was cut, bled, and roared into existence. Every name listed, every sentence printed, every fan letter published, they matter, they remain, and they remind us that wrestling is not just something you watch, it is something you carry. If this is your first issue, subscribe. If it's your 100th, welcome home. This has been From the Pages. Share it, like it, and suplex the subscribe button so hard it leaves a crater. The magazines never lie, the pages still speak. We will see you in the next issue.